I grew up inside of a fundamentalist cult. If you've ever watched The Handmaid's Tale, that was the religion I grew up in. In my ex-father's house, I experienced 5 different types of abuse. I was the granddaughter of the founder. If I followed the path set for me, I would have been locked up in that cult forever. If I had succumbed to my surroundings, you would have never heard my name, never watched this video. But instead, I did 2 things. I took my passion and turned it into a living. I took that means of living and turned it into a legacy that gave me freedom. Here's how I did it. I believe the beautiful gift that comes from trauma is finding your passion early. If you don't succumb to the pain and the trauma, and you're a fighter, it can actually lead you to find your passion from an early age. And this was the beautiful gift I was given out of the horrible childhood I endured for so many years. God threw me a lifeline. That lifeline was discovering and acting on my talent. Writing was my passion and my talent. It became my reason for living. It was my alternate reality that has since become today's reality. And to really paint the picture, let's go back to when I was 19 years old. The days were really dark in the cult when I was that age. And I started to begin to think that death was better than life. By chance one day, I Googled how to write for a living with absolutely nothing to lose and not much more than $75 in my bank account. And I discovered an amazing industry. You can write for a living. You can build and learn this skill set. And I've been doing it for 10 years now, making over $1 million a year. God has granted me success. But the truth is, I started with less than nothing. After I did that Google search one day at 19 years old, how to make money writing, within 3 months, I had built up an income stream that was double my parents' income every month. The truth is, once you find out what you love to do, you just follow that path. The rest gets clear. And the truth of trauma leading you to find your passion early in life is not just in my story. It's actually found in some of the greatest names on earth. I'm sure you know Tony Robbins, or you've heard of him. He is one of the world's greatest self-development coaches. He grew up without a father and a physically abusive mother. He often had to protect his siblings from their mother. At 17 years old, he dropped out of high school and got a job as a janitor to provide for his siblings. And he saved up a week's worth of income as a janitor and used that to go to a Jim Rohn seminar instead of school. He found a mentor, and he was brave and bold enough to go up to Jim Rohn and ask if he could be his protege. The rest is history. J.K. Rowling, the author of the amazing Harry Potter series, is one of the wealthiest women in the world. But it was actually a traumatic experience, her mother's death on New Year's Day in 1991, that actually inspired her to start writing Harry Potter. She carried around pages of her manuscript, but life interrupted her. She got married, got a good job, had a daughter. But it was trauma, even more severe, that led her back to writing Harry Potter. She lost her job. Her husband left her. She was penniless and alone raising her daughter, and she said that she would take her daughter in her pram to the local cafe and rock her child as she wrote Harry Potter. In what was the darkest time of her life, she was also considering suicide, but writing Harry Potter gave her life. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go through pain and trauma in order to get to discovering your passion and acting on building a life that you're going to love. I wrote a book called Skip the Degree, Save the Tuition that teaches my 4 L's pathway to building a means of income and a life you love from the skill and the talent that you were given. My 4 L's are: find out what you love doing, learn all you can about it, labor, get your hands dirty, and then level up, charge more, and scale. You can buy that book on Amazon. So obviously you don't have to go through pain and trauma, but I think the point here is that the beautiful gift that we survivors are given, should we choose to act on it, is our passion, our talent, what we love doing gets crystal clear in that environment, and we can follow that path a lot sooner than the majority of the world. I've written my story, all the parts, the gritty, the hard, the beautiful, the rough, in a book called Woman Rising, A True Story, also available on Amazon, narrated by me on Audible. I definitely encourage you picking up that book because I wrote it to inspire people to go follow their dreams no matter the circumstances. I am living proof of that, and I believe anyone can follow their passion and build a beautiful life. You can too. You can start with less than nothing. I was inside of a cult. I had $75 to my name, and honestly, I should have used that to buy gas and food. Instead, I conserved gas by walking to the nearest dollar store to do my shopping, and I ate leftovers. I took that $75 and invested it actively into a website theme and hosting. It was my last $75, and I literally used it to fuel my dream. What's holding you back? If you have $100 in the bank, you have more than I had at the beginning. If you have $1,000 in the bank, you have 13 times more than what I had at the beginning. Use that to build your dream. What can you buy, invest in, that is a direct investment into your dream? This is what I challenge you to do today. Let today be the day you decide to start. Take action. Take your last $75, hopefully you're better off than I was, and do something with it to see your dream come true. Thanks for watching today's video. If you like this style of me getting behind the mic, narrating, getting some really cool footage with our drone, and kind of doing what I love to do, which is storytelling, I'd love to know if you like this style and you were inspired by it. Hit that like button, subscribe for more content just like this, and I can't wait to see you back here on my channel.